from Norwood, and Scott Creighton from Halifax, Massachusetts. Dan, have you ever been in a match like today where one game is going to mean so much?
Not really, no. I've really only been bowling about 3 years. You know, I've had some big matches with Matty Dennehy, but other than that, nothing really.
Scott, did you do anything specific to get ready for today's lineup?
You just get up and do what you got to do. There's no hesitation. You just do it.
Now, you're the more experienced member of the two. I hear you've bowled on TV before. You think that's going to give you an edge in the game?
There's never an edge. Anyone can win anytime. Anytime they bowl good, you win.
Well, it looks like everyone's going to have to be focused on their own game today. Back to you, Phil and Dan.
All right, thanks, Alyssa. And joining us now, our new champion, Bob Reynolds. Bob, amazing job last week, bowling a 151, a 141. Can you make it happen again today?
Well, we'll give it a try. There was another string in there, which was a 108, so you never know what's going to happen, but hopefully we'll have more of the 151s and 141s.
All right, good luck. You know, he also put up some serious points. 1250, not bad, Dan.
Not bad. Need to get to that 1,800 point mark, but as you know, if you follow the show each week, they can get points by throwing spares, strikes, combinations of spares and strikes. Those points can only be accumulated in the championship round, the two-game match, and of course they can carry the points over from week to week.
And right now, our total point leaders are Dave Dupree at 2350, Deck Klein at 2200, and Lou Alberghini at 1800. Alyssa will be joining us a little later on in today's show to tell you folks at home how you can get involved. But right now, we have to take a break. We'll be back with the start of the American Car Care Center's $30,000 Candlepin Challenge right here on AT&T 3. Welcome back to FICO's Bowlodrome for the American Car Care Center's $30,000 Candlepin Challenge. Starting us off in our challenges match, Dan Schultz from Norwood, Massachusetts.
Oh, flush
right
on the head
pin.
Yeah. He got some velocity on that ball, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, leaves himself the 2, 4, 7 and the 3-pin. Piece of wood behind the 3 and also just to the right. I think he maybe catch that 2-pin in the wood. Yes!
Got the 2-pin in the wood, just
exactly.
like you said.
Spare up in the first, and he's brought a few fans with him.
Sure did.
This place is rocking. You see on the 2-pin, the wood kicks forward to clear out the 3. There you go.
Schultz to the right, leaving the 4 horsemen to the left, plus the 9-pin sleeping back there.
Well, gives him 5 on the fill.
Wow. Takes out the 7-pin. Dan going after the head. Boom, gets it. After 2, he's at 25. Not a bad start, Dan, huh?
Not a bad start at all.
And now up, Mr. Scott Creighton. Scott's from Halifax. And he almost starts with the strikes. He gets downs 8, leaving just the 3 and 5. Scott's just waiting for that wood to settle.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't like the looks of it too. He probably would like to avoid that and try to catch the 3-pin clean.
Tough angle.
Oh, he got it coming off the wall though. He made it work. Good shot by Scott.
Scott answers with a spare of his own.
Scott bowling out of the Hanover Bowlodrome.
See there on the replay.
And of course the finals was held at the Wright Brothers Sports Center. Right back in the pocket, strike on spare, and we're off. Wow.
Scott Creighton wasting no time. Both bowlers starting off with marks. Now back over to Schultz, lane 23.
And he drops a solid 9, leave the 10-pin.
Very makeable spare. He's got some wood in front of it.
He's got to be a little careful with the wood.
Does he just drive this straight through?
No, I want to be high in the wood. No, not that far. No, you want to catch the front one. Left hand, well, up above the red line, but he went too far left, missed everything. Yeah, above the red line was the shot.
Still good for a 10 box. Still good for a 10 box. I guess both bowlers know the importance of this challengers match, because they came off on fire.
Certainly
Wasting
did.
no time going to work.
Yep. Went I say it's a sprint, it is. It's one game, folks, and any given day, even Phil could beat me.
I don't know about all that.
Well, I just said that. I know that.
You trying to make
know,
me feel good?
yeah.
Is that what this is all about?
Oh, great try on the half Worcester. Dan Schultz.
Dan leaving the 6-10 and the 7 over to the left. Going after that 6. He takes out the 6 and 10, but leaves the 7.
And it's 44 through 4 for Dan Schultz. Scott Creighton, nothing but marks so far. Spare followed by the strike in the second. He will fill that strike now and increase his lead, which stands at 5 right now. Right back in the pocket, leaves himself the 2-4. Chance to go 3 in a row. And again, a testy piece of wood out front, depending where it settles down.
But putting himself in excellent position to put another mark up.
He's got room to get by it, or just clip it will be good too. Yes,
it.
he uses it.
It's his 3rd mark in a row, Dan.
And he's perfect. Spare, strike, spare.
Creighton on the move. Check it out on the replay.
Yeah, off the wood a little bit, but kept the ball in between the 2 and the 4. Nice little guide for him on that wood. Now he'll fill that, leading by 15 plus this ball.
Right on the head. Another
strike. Are you kidding me? Oh, my. Whoa.
He gets a high 5 from Schultz for that one. He has marked on every single box. See there on the replay.
He's only thrown 6.
Strike.
He's only thrown 6 balls.
That's amazing.
6 balls. Spare strike, spare strike. Well, Dan Schultz trying to claw his way back. Leaves the 4 in the 7. He'll make the spare in the 5th. Trying to get his fans back in the game.
Schultz at 54 after 5 plus this ball.
Yeah, you really got to concentrate now, not make any mistakes in the fills. Try to get 7 or better, another mark.
Off to the right.
Oh,
That's going to hurt him.
Yeah, you heard him kind of groan. He knew it was off to the right, so he leaves himself the 1, 2, 5, and 9. Tough spare because of that sleeper 5 and the 9 in the back.
Yeah, you were right. He's got the 2 and 5. Takes out the 5, so he leaves the 2. Good for a 9 box. Schultz at 69 after 6.
Dan Schultz is bowling for Rita Paris from Manchester, New Hampshire, and Scott Creighton, as you see now, is opened up a big lead early. He's bowling for Rita Flanders from Pennacook, New Hampshire.
So it's looking pretty good for Rita right now.
So far, this is the first time he's missed the head pin, and he's back on it. Almost perfect, but the streak stops at 4, but he's got a huge lead, 79 through 4 boxes. Wow.
Imagine how many points he would have racked up if that was the championship match.
And
10 bucks for
10.
Scott.
29 pin advantage.
You know, Scott has a high single of 191 and a high triple of 455. Right on the head again, and it's another strike again.
It is unbelievable. Hello.
Creighton lighting it up.
He's not even working up a sweat here. He's only, well, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 balls he's thrown.
And they were for the 10th one.
Through
right
6
there.
boxes. Hey, and Dan Schultz right back with
Schultz
a
with
strike of
another
his own.
Schultz is like, I am not out of this thing yet.
No, off the canvas he comes, right with his own strike.
In a big way.
Would love a double here. Got a chance.
Almost back to back. He hit it right on the head pin,
Yeah,
but they didn't go for him.
4, 9, 10, couple pieces of wood. Possibilities here. I'd go right at the 4 pin. Hopefully the wood behind is going to clip the 9, and hopefully the 10 will go as well. Probably the problem pin is going to be the 10.
You're right. The 10 did not go for him. All right, so Dan Schultz looking to complete the 10 box. All right. After 8, he's at 98. Tell you what, Dan Schultz is bowling very well, but Creighton, holy smokes.
He's
guy's
just
unbelievable.
on fire. Well, he's only had one open frame. That's, well, I'll tell you,
Ridiculous.
best defense is an offense. Well, he's got it.
All right.
Leaves
He's the
himself
1 in the 10.
1 in the 10 left, working on a strike, and it's a piece of wood that you can see it's rolled out considerably, and Earl Smith will run down and remove that.
Earl Smith is all over it. Take the sights and sounds of New England. Add a dash of humor, a twist of fate, a little seasoning, then stir, and you've got Chowder, AT&T's 3's entertainment magazine show.
Oh.
Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. on AT&T 3, Wicked Cool TV.
Another mark. 6 marks out of 7 frames. There you see the 1 in the 10, not an easy spare.
That 4-pin dropping late.
Already at 126 through 7 with that 7-pin drop. Leaves himself the 1, 2, and 10.
You know, he averages a 115, so he's well above his average. Oh, excuse me, actually, he averages a 120.
Still way above his average.
Still way above his average.
Almost made that mark as well. And 10, 136 with 2 to go. One of the highest challengers strings we've had. Although last week, yeah, Bob Reynolds had a 151.
151.
So,
which is very impressive.
It's going to be in the same neighborhood. Meanwhile, Dan Schultz, decent opening game here, but just is up against a buzzsaw in Scott Creighton.
He leaves the spread eagle minus the 3-pin.
Yeah, he's going to try to use that wood in between the 2 and the 4, see if he can snap it over into the 6-10. Yeah, right idea. Wanted to clip that wood, but hey, he bowled decently, but there was no stopping Scott Creighton.
Creighton came out swinging. 9 box for Schultz. He's at 107 after 9. Schultz leaving the diamond, 2, 4, 5, and 8. Good for the spare.
Yeah, good way to finish it off. Nice. Smiling, pretty good sport about it. I mean, he knows he bowled decently. Let's this pin come all the way across to knock down that 4-pin.
Right off the wall. Yeah.
But, you know, some days there's no defense in this game. When you got somebody throwing that many marks, it's pretty tough. And Dan will finish with a 119.
Just above his average. But not enough to keep up with Scott. At this point, Scott knows he has this one in the bag, so.
Yes, and he will move on to the championship round. And our
Face
able-bodied
Bob Reynolds.
Earl Smith, our whiz, our mathematician. Another mark?
Another mark.
Oh, you're kidding me. Earl figured this up. If Scott was in the championship round, he would be at 750 points for this one game. Wow. One game. And of course, you know, if he was going on to win that championship and get another 750, he'd be at 1,500 points already with the one game to go. However, this is the Challengers match. Are you kidding me? Oh, my!
Scott, save it, man, save it!
166 with 2 balls to come. This is by far our best Challengers match game we've had this season. Oh, he's back on the head pin.
Leaving just the 4, 6, and 10. Think he'll spare here?
No. I saw the ball halfway down. It was to the
You
left.
sure did.
175.
All right,
Great
folks,
game.
Scott Creighton moves on 175 to 119 over Dan Schultz. We'll be back with our championship match right after these messages.
For our viewers at home that would like to get involved in the action here, here's what you do. Send us a postcard at International Candlepin Bowling Association's $30,000 Candlepin Challenge, 26 South Main Street, Suite 252, Concord, New Hampshire, 03301. 2 names will be drawn from that pile of postcards, and they will be paired with the challengers each week. If the challenger goes on to unseat the defending champion, then you'll end up taking home $25. Also, if you want to come and be a part of our loyal audience, then head down to the different lanes that we'll be at. We'll draw those names out of a hat. They'll be paired with the champion for the day, and if the champion ends up defending his crown, then you'll end up taking home $25 there as well. Back to you guys.
All right, starting us off is Bob Reynolds, our current champion. He beat Dead Klein last week, 249 to 209. Bob is from Dedham, Massachusetts. As he takes his approach, he has a high single of 187 and a high triple of 470. He's off to the left a little bit.
Yeah, missing to the left. Knocks out the 478. Last week he had 1,250 points. You know, Lou Alberghini sitting on the bubble with 1,800. If he had started early, he accumulated a lot of points that second game, throwing the 141. He had a disappointing 108 the first game of the championship match, and only with 2 marks, a spare and a strike. So wants to start a little early this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the way Scott Creighton is bowling, he could have taken out Dave Dupree, perhaps, if he kept it up.
If he could have combined his challengers string with the second game of the championship match, he would have knocked a lot of people off. But
All right, Bob dropping 9.
Leads himself to 6-pin. Let's see, that wood is not good right now. He wants to turn that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he's got 2 pieces of wood down there.
It's turned enough. He wants to be to the left of the red line.
He's asked to go to the left of the red line.
Yeah.
That's there.
Yep. Spare up in the second.
Right on time.
Now, can Scott Creighton keep this torrid pace up?
We'll see momentarily.
Yeah. Personally, I've seen this, and if I see someone throw a big game like that, I want to be the next in line, because odds are he can't keep that up. Let's see if he proves me wrong, but usually you just, this is Candlepin bowling. It's hard to keep that kind of a pace up, but if he drops to 140, I mean, it's not too bad.
Scott leaving the 1, 6, 7, and 10. Tough split. He's got that piece of wood way out in front there. Earl's on his way to check it out. Maybe rolling back into play. Close call. See Scott waiting patiently.
Yeah, it's
incredible challengers match.
Yeah, it was so close. Earl had to wait till that piece of wood stopped, because remember, the deadwood line, all it has to do is touch that line. It doesn't have to be all the way over the line before it can be removed.
All right. Now you got the high-low jack. 1-7-10. What you gonna do?
Out of the coals and into the fire. What is that? He makes an 8. Wow, he's cooled off. First box. Of course, I'm being facetious. I mean, he opened up spare, strike, open, strike, spare, open, spare, strike. 2 open frames in 10 boxes. That was an amazing match.
That leaves the spread eagle minus the 3-pin.
Oh, that ball looked as good as any of them in the first game, but just a little, probably a little heavy. 2, 4, 7, 6, 10, trying to split the 2 and the 4.
All right, he's dropped 7, leaving 3. Going after the 6-10.
And a 9, and 17 through 2. Bob Reynolds, our champ, up by 2, plus this fill on the spare. And, of course, with that spare, gives him 50 points.
Well, Reynolds knows what he has to do. He saw Creighton in the challenges match. You know, he knows he has a hot hand.
No, off target there. Just 3 on the spare. Gives him 22. 5-pin advantage. Oh, right back.
There.
Buries it in the 1-3 pocket, clears the other 7 pins away. 2 marks in a row, another 50 points, gives him 100, but sets himself up for a 100-point bonus as you see the replay.
Reynolds at 32 plus. He's off the right this time.
Now, again, disappointing 5 fill this time. And
Leaves the 1, 2, 8, 7, and 10.
yeah, well, you got to catch the head pin. Catches the head pin, he's got a shot at this. Could mean 150 points, 50 for the spare and 100 for the bonus.
He's got a lot of wood to play.
No, key pin was the head pin. Had to have that one. It's amazing throwing 141 the second game last week, and he did not have 3 marks in a row. He had 6 marks, but only as much as 2 in a row, 3 different times.
All right, Reynolds is at 47 after 4. Now Creighton taking to lane 23.
Wow. That certainly was as good as any ball he threw in the first game. He leaves himself to 7, 8, and 9.
The whole back row minus the 10 pin. That is always tough.
Well, I think maybe the tip of the wood in the 9 pin. Yeah, that's what he's trying. Oh, my! Oh, couldn't have thrown it any better. He put a ball exactly where he wanted to throw it. Leaves just the 9. Great effort by Scott.
Creighton for the 10 box. Misses to the left. Now after 3, he's at 26.
Just gave the double fist like, man, I thought I had that.
See it here?
Right on the tip. The ball just deflected by the 9 pin. Still got a piece of it. It was rocking, but no spare.
Oh,
Again,
drop 7, leaves 3.
what a
Got
difference
the
a
5,
game,
9, and 10.
difference a game makes, because that ball again was right in the 1-3 pocket. 5, 9, 10, trying to cut the 5 pin on the left-hand side. I would. He may try to snap the wood, but I think I'd go after the 5 pin. That's what he's trying to do. He's got a shot.
Misses the 10.
He's still sharp. He almost made that one. Any luck he would have had 2 in a row.
All right, 10 box for Scott. He's at 36 after 4. Reynolds
Take a
leads
look
by
at
11.
Take a look at that attempt. Just behind the 10 pin.
All right, Reynolds up by 11, looking to extend that lead. Bob averages a 123.
Trips the 10 pin, leaves just the 7, and all kinds of wood rolling around.
It's rolling out of the way, though, for him. Some of it is.
And the other piece that's in front of the 7 pin is way out in front, and it always scares me because a little bit off center, he's liable to snap it against the left sidewall and in front of the 7. So
Yeah,
red line maybe a little bit right of the red line, or maybe that second piece. Let's see what he tries to do. He's trying the second piece. Good choice.
Excellent
Good
shot.
shot. Good choice by Bob. That's a shot with a little bit of experience behind it. He realized that front piece could cause him problems. He took the one in the back, made the spare.
It took a moment to think about that and paid off for him.
Well, off target, drops
Hits
8.
the 2 pin. Yep. Leaving the 7 and 8.
Another 50 points, gives him 150. And let's see, 7 and 8. Now he's got to just drive into that wood. He's got a couple pieces. Whether or not it's got the right angle for the 7 will remain to be seen. Yes, he does. 2 in a row again for Bob Reynolds, our champion. Another 50 points, sets himself up.
This real smart.
Yeah, he really is. There you go, just enough.
Totally using the wood on that one. Now Scott. Actually, there's a piece of wood rolling back in lane 24 that he's waiting on.
Yeah, a little distraction. He's bowling on 23, but that pin was rolling back, and
Rolls on his way.
Earl has really increased his speed over the season.
What's he do his 40 in now?
I'm not sure. About an hour and a half.
Creighton dropping 9, leaving just the 10 pin.
He's going to love to hear that one. He didn't hear that, so.
He's looking at us right now. Like, what'd you guys just say?
Yeah, Scott looking for his first mark, and he's going to have it. Not because he hasn't been throwing a good ball, believe me. Interesting to watch the opponents. Bob Reynolds seems to be one that does not like to watch his opponent bowl. Always looks the other way.
Now, did you like to watch your opponent's bowl?
I'd like to try to trip him. Yeah, but that didn't work. They wouldn't let me do that. So, you know, I don't think I did watch too often. You know,
you didn't watch your opponents and you didn't watch the scoreboard?
No. No, I would glance at the scoreboard after I was done to make sure you have somebody like Earl, you need to watch it. 2 in a row, but no. And we're going to take a short break here, Phil, and see if Bob can hold on to that 12-pin advantage.
That's right. He's up by 12. We'll be back with more right after these messages. We're back, and that's Bob Reynolds, our current champion. Leads by 12 right now, 75-63. Looking for a good fill here.
Yes, and Bob Reynolds is bowling for Fred Sprintig Jr. It's a name from the past that some of you bowling fans might remember. Freddie was probably still is, a good candlepin bowler.
Bob leaving the spread eagle. Trying to take out the right side, but he leaves the 6-pin.
And again, his streak stops at 2 marks in a row. He's done it twice this week now. Just can't seem to get that bonus. And that's what you have to do to try to get into that top 3. You need those bonus points for consecutive marks.
Solid 9. After 7, he's at 88. Yeah, he did that last week. A couple here, a couple there.
That's right.
Back to back,
Yeah.
but he was never able to go on a run, a serious run.
That would have been a difference, probably. Oh boy, right in the pocket. And hello, 7-9, no wood.
Now, how do you approach this?
You throw one ball at one of the pins. And,
one ball at the other, right?
That's right. You know, I'd probably play the 7-pin closer to wall, hope it comes off the wall. Oh, you kidding me?
And you said he needed 2 balls for
Take
that?
that, Dan. Take that. Oh, my.
I suggest you retract that statement.
Well, I did say go after the 7 because there's a chance of coming off the wall. I didn't have a chance to get it out.
Check out
and
the
he
replay.
makes it. Look at this. Unbelievable shot by Bob Reynolds. Yeah, I've been around the game a long time, and
you don't see that too often, do you?
I can't ever remember seeing somebody make that without wood.
Now Scott Creighton.
Disappointing 3 on the spare, and he follows it right through the same path that the first ball took. So he's looking at 7 pins, 1 ball remaining, trying to clear up, get it probably an 8 or 9 if he can. Disappointing 6 though.
box.
His lead or his deficit now is 16, opposite a spare. Boy, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, Scott was off to such a fast start in that Challengers match.
You know, it was a big swing there. Bob Reynolds gets up, gets a spread eagle. Scott thinks, well, here's a break for me. Then he gets the 7 and 9 pins. You think, oh, he's not going to mark in either of the boxes. He makes it. It swings back. Bob Reynolds, Scott gets up, throws a disappointing 3 in a 6 box. Momentum swings back to Bob Reynolds. It's amazing how it fluctuates back and forth. Ooh.
No, he's off to the right on that.
Yeah, didn't miss it by much. That's where he had to be. Had to be the right side of that 3-pin to make that shot.
He's going for it again.
This time a little full. Gives him 80 after 8. 18-pin advantage for Bob Reynolds, plus this fill on the spare.
See that on the replay.
Oh, look at his reaction.
You gotta love that.
Yeah.
He's like giddy up.
And that's a little out of character for him, so you knew that excited him. He's kind of a low-key guy. Good for him, though. That was a great shot.
All right, Bob. He's got the 2, 4, and 10.
and a makeable spare with the wood in between. Concentrate on the 2-pin. Either split the 2-4, be inside the 2, but you got to have the 2. Oh boy, I'll tell you, he's putting a clinic. Putting a clinic on out there right now.
He's at 115, plus this ball coming up.
There you go. I think
it,
he
Dan.
probably would have made it without the wood, but wood certainly came as a factor on the 10-pin. Right back in the pocket, 8.
Yeah, the 1-3 pocket there leaves the 4 and 7.
Of course, it's another 50 points. He's up to 300. Needs this for the 100-point bonus, plus 50 for this spare. And he'd have a decent point total. Oh, he just can't.
Just the 7-pin.
Can't get
This
that
is the
third
4.
one.
All right, the 4 denies him.
132, pretty good opening game. 300 points.
Bowling above his average of 123.
Well, Scott Clayton certainly doesn't want to go into that second game 30 pins behind. A couple marks here would put him right within striking distance. Well, he's going to have to make a shot like Bob's making, the 6 and 7. I'd go after the 6-pin. Hopefully you get that wood to move left. No.
He misses that 6-pin to the right.
The right idea, though. He had to be way out there on the right. Boy, how things can turn around. It doesn't look like he's doing anything different. Look at this. Nice 10. That's what he tried to do the second ball. He's at 90 through 9. Of course, everyone remembers the 175, but he hasn't bowled that badly in this game.
He's had some tough breaks, though. Everything was falling for him. In the Challengers match.
That's right. I mean, you need that break. You can throw a good ball, but unless you get the break now and then to give yourself a legitimate spare leave, it just doesn't happen. Here he's looking at the
4-pin.
4-pin. Oh, he's got to hurry. Yeah. And that sometimes is what happened. You press, now you get a spare leave, and you press a little too much, and you go by the pin. Even 100 game.
All right, folks, we're taking another break. Reynolds takes this one, 132 to 100. We'll be back for our second championship game right after these messages. All right, welcome back, folks, for game 2 in our championship match.
There you see the point total so far. Bob Reynolds, 6 spares for 300 points. Scott Creighton, 2 spares for 100, and you see their ending scores 132-100. So right now, that 1,800 points, somebody's going to have to make a real rush this second game. Remember, they got 750 for winning the match. So add that to both totals, and it gives you an idea of where they stand in relation to those top 3.
Almost gets the strike.
No.
Not quite, though. Very makeable spare here, though.
And he does. Well, you saw what he can do in the Challengers match, so 32 pins could be nothing if you throw 175.
It's true.
But
Creighton starting off strong.
just got to be patient. Try not to make any mistakes. Get decent fills on your marks and put them together. Oh,
They're right on the head pin, Dan.
yeah, just 4 on the spare. Not what he wanted. But again, wasn't far off.
And I thought it was going to cause some damage there.
Quarter of an inch either way. You might be looking at 9 pins or spare, and almost another spare.
As he got the 3-pin.
And I've heard this a lot of times, and I use it myself. Sometimes you bowl well, but you don't score.
Yeah.
And at that right now, that's a summary of Scott Creighton. He's bowling terrific. He almost made that next to impossible spare. But unfortunately, it's a score that counts.
Yeah, after 2, he's at 24.
Picks up another 50 points.
Mr. Reynolds takes out the left side. Leaves the triangle in the back there to the right, plus the head pin.
Yep. He's got to be on the head pin and just hope he can drive that wood straight back or the head pin back and clear out the 6, 9, 10. No, not quite.
And he's not going to get that 6 and 10.
We did mention the points last week, and he was kind of interested. He was looking at those points last week, so he knew he was climbing up there. So if any of these bowlers say that's not in their mind, they're not thinking about that. They're wrong.
It's in their mind.
That's right.
A $10 for Bob.
When you got $15,000 looking at you, they're thinking about it. Remember, May 19th, folks, coming up very shortly. Going to start about 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Bob leaves the 6, 7, 8, and 10. Piece of wood in front of the 6 and 10.
Got a chance.
Oh,
wow.
Beautiful shot.
Snapped the wood, cleared out the 6-10.
Couldn't get that 7 to go.
Yeah, the wood ended up right behind the 7-pin.
Yeah.
Almost a great shot, but he'll be open 2 frames.
He's 20 after 2.
Well, lead is reduced to 28. I would say Scott would have to at least put 1 mark up each time he gets up from the pair of boxes and hope Bob pulls off. You see his reaction there. He thought he had it.
It's not going to go for him, though. Creighton.
Oh, there he goes.
With a strike.
Well, another strike here. All bets are off. This game would be just about even. Gives him another 100 points. 250 for Scott at this point. Well, there it is! There it is, folks. A double, another 100 points. Sets himself for a huge bonus of 500 additional points if he can throw another one when he gets up there. But more importantly, those 28 pins are gone.
Like shrapnel, blowing them up. Bob Reynolds. Kind of feeling the heat. Takes down 9.
Yeah.
Leaving just the 6.
He's been around to know. I got to put some marks up now. This is a whole new ball game. Got it. Spare in the 3rd. Much needed spare.
Yeah, Bob answering big time.
Yeah, just to let Scott know I'm still around. Bob puts a spare in the 3rd. Sometimes that's the easy part. Here comes the hard part, sometimes filling these spares. You want a decent fill. That's pretty decent.
Everything but the king.
This is huge. To answer with 2 marks opposite the double strike, this would be huge. Oh, no.
Sounds right. Not going to get it.
Opening for Scott Creighton.
Bob Reynolds will have to settle for the 10 box.
It's 49. Okay, this ball is very important, folks. If he gets another strike, it's 500 additional points on top of the 100 for consecutive marks, plus the 100 points for each one of the strikes.
But you see, Bob still leads overall by 27, so.
Oh, boy. Right through the middle. The
Fred
worst,
Eagle, minus the 6.
worst thing that could have happened. Well, with that wood, he's going to play the wood. He's got a shot at this.
Now you're going to, okay, you're going to play the wood,
Yep.
okay.
10-pin could be the problem. No, 7, but he got it. He got it. 3 in a row.
All right, folks.
Unbelievable.
Coming down to the wire.
Oh, wow. Another 50 points, but a 100-point bonus for Scott Creighton, and you know he can throw consecutive marks. Here it is. Stubborn 7-pin has to go.
Creighton starting to heat up.
Right back in the pocket and another strike. Oh, my.
Scott Creighton. Let's see with Bob how he can answer this.
That's another 200 points. 100 for the strike, 100-point bonus as the consecutive streak continues.
Dan, what do you say when you see your opponent go on a run like this?
You just got to try to block it. I'll say, look, I want to hit the head pin. I want to get myself a decent shot at the spare. And like I said, there's no offense. You got to put your own defense. There's no no defense. There's all offense. You got to put some marks up to try to say, hey, I'm still around.
But you say you don't like to watch your opponent, but you can't avoid something like that.
No, you can't.
You can't help but
It's
look
hard.
at that.
Yeah. It's like telling I don't watch the points. Yeah, you're right, Phil. I have to admit. The crowd will tell you what's happening.
All right, Bob with the 2, 4, and 7.
No, makeable spare, but in this situation, none of them are easy. No, sliding by.
4 and 7.
He has come all the way back.
All right, 10 bucks for Bob.
Bob still holds a 2-pin lead. However, Scott has thrown a strike up in the 6th already.
Well, I'll tell you what, did that lead diminish quickly or what? It just vanished.
Like I said, he was bowling good that first game. He just wasn't getting the breaks, and all of a sudden he started going.
Bob off to the right. Still falling for him. He leaves the 1, 4, 7, 8, and 10.
Well, anything over 2 on this strike, well, let's see what he finishes with. I would safe to say that Scott is going to take over the lead when we come back from the break with a fill on the strike. Anything over 1.
9 bucks for Bob. We have to take a break in this game. It's Scott Creighton 99 to 68, but Bob Reynolds still leads by 1. We'll be back with more right after these messages. All right, welcome back, folks, and we're in the midst of a close one that's coming down to the wire. Scott Creighton has made his run. He's only down overall by 1. He leads the game, game 2, 99 to 68.
And he's already at 700 points, just the points for the marks. So give him, well, we
He's
can't
throwing
give
4
him.
marks in a row.
That's right, and he can keep the streak alive. Every mark now is worth 150 points or 200 points if it was a strike. This will be worth 150 if he can get the spare. Oh, the streak stops.
Yeah, he got the 3, 5, and 6, but the 10 is still standing.
But he will take the lead, being down by 32 after 1 game. At 10.
All right, and the lead does
118.
switch.
8-pin lead. Box is completed for Scott Creighton.
Now, from Bob Reynolds, I'm thinking, what just happened?
Yeah. Right back in the pocket and another strike.
Creighton on the move. Reynolds is eager to step up to these lanes now. He's like, let me get up here immediately.
That's right. When you're on a roll, you don't want to rush, but you just want muscle memory. You just want to keep pumping that ball in the pocket, and he's got the mixing action. Look at that. The last 3 pins that go down. Another 100 points. He's up to 800.
Reynolds. Oh, it's not going to go for him.
No, but
Got the 5 and 9.
the wood wants to stay there. If the wood rolls out, it makes it that much more difficult. Now it's going to settle down. Looks to me like he's just got to drive it straight back. I'm a little worried about the 9-pin, but I think he drive it straight back. He can convert and make the spare. Yes, he does.
For the spare.
Much needed spare. That's opposite of 10 frame. So if he were to drop 8 here, match dead even. However, strike is already posted by Scott in the 8th.
He's at 78 after 7.
What a match.
Reynolds off to the
Sliding
right,
by.
leaving the 4 horsemen to the left, plus the 9-pin.
So he still trails by 3, but he must convert this to put a mark up to match the strike put up by Scott.
Yeah, this is an important ball right here.
No,
No, just takes away the 9, leaves the 4 horsemen.
No, he wants to get out of here with a 9 or a 10. Hope that Scott does not mark the last 2 frames. Still give him a shot. Trying to make it 2 wins in a row after defeating Candlepin last week. Good 10 box. Okay, it's a 3-pin advantage for Scott plus this fill. Scott's thinking 8 or better. Put me in the double figures, 7 or better. Hopefully put another mark up. Double figures means Bob's going to have to throw a double mark.
Leaving the diamond to the right.
And always a tough shot. 3, 5, 6, and of course the 9 in the back. Just
Well, that is going to help Bob.
Well, it gives him an open frame to work on in the 9th. Bob is going to definitely need 2 marks when he gets up there. He could need a double strike if Scott were the mark in this last frame.
Creighton with a 146.
Double mark only if Bob were to get at least 9 pins. About another strike.
Oh,
yes, it is. There it goes.
Spoke too soon.
Wow, striking the 10th. That's huge. That's going to force Bob to throw some strikes, I believe. We'll see what happens with a fill. 156 in a ball. Here's the replay.
7-pin is still thinking about
Yep,
it.
there goes
late for him,
the
though.
4 and the 8. The 8 pin, now the 4, and finally the 10 pin. Another 100 points.
Spread eagle.
He is going to be so close to 1,800, but I think he's going to fall a little short. Seven and a 163 and a 263 total. From way back he comes.
Yeah, from the depths.
Okay, Bob needs a 131 to tie. He's at a 113 clip. So he does need a double mark.
Reynolds trying to finish strong here.
I don't believe he needs a double strike, but he needs a double mark. And almost.
Almost. Leaving just the 6-pin.
All right, hang on to your seats, boys and girls, because this one is going down to the wire. Well, that pin did roll against the 6-pin, so I think it will cover it.
You got a little space there. Not that for the money.
No, not that far left. He had to be to the right of the red line. Now he's in a double strike situation.
He realizes,
Yep.
too. You see him
Yep,
there
that was a
walking around
huge
thinking
miss.
about it.
Yep, that was a huge miss.
So I can't believe I missed that.
He would need to get this pin and throw a double strike 8 to tie, double strike 9 to win.
And he misses that pin.
And now
Off
he
to the
needs
left.
double strike 9 to tie, triple strike to win. No, one at a time. Must throw a strike, folks, or we have a new champion. Oh, that close. Scott
Very
Creighton
close.
will come back from a 32-pin deficit to win this match.
You got to give him his
My,
props.
oh, my.
Unbelievable.
My, oh, my. Spare in the 10th.
Reynolds with an impressive performance, though. Because he kept Creighton on his toes.
He did. He did. And he had a couple chances in the second game. Wasn't able to convert those. And he's going to end up with 118 and a 250 total. Not bad, but not enough today.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Scott Creighton, our new champion, 263 to 250 over Bob Reynolds. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, Bob, you were able to get off to a quicker start in this week's championship round, but unfortunately with less desirable results. What was the difference?
Scott did exactly what he had to do in that second game, and he threw a big string, and I missed 2 single pins, so I blew it, but he bowled great in that second game. He deserved to win.
Well, thanks for being here with us. Phil?
All right, thanks. Listen, we're standing by with our champion right now, Scott Creighton. He wins this one, 263 to 250. Scott, you were down by 32 after the first game. What was going through your mind?
I needed a lot of help. Thank God he let me right in the back door, and I got lucky.
Now, you started throwing up some serious marks. Were you thinking about the point totals at all?
Not at all. It wasn't in my mind. Just a match, do what you got to do and win.
You know, you weren't thinking at all? Because I figure the 6 box, you almost made that spare, which would give you 6 consecutive marks, followed by another strike. You'd have been in the show, baby. You would have been having 1,900 points and some. So
Well, you guys can give me a little extra if you want, you know, for being here.
I don't know, Mr. Albertini would like that at all. You know?
likes it.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he likes you that much.
You know, the first game you struggled a little bit, not throwing any marks, or you threw a couple of marks, but then the second game you threw 4 in a row.
That's the way the game goes. You get lucky and you don't.
Well, what about next week?
I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully I throw the same ball again and don't have that 100 string.
Being very patient, a lot of marks. Maybe next week, 1,900 points.
We'll go for 2. How's that?
There you go.
All right, Scott, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nice bowling. Nice bowling.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you next time on the American Car Care Center's $30,000 Candlepin Challenge.
Rock your body to the left, it's Candlepin. Rock your body to the right, it's Candlepin.